I've been mainly singing praises for this game, haven't I? So, is it perfect then? Well, of course not. The negatives are just rather small, and I haven't really had the chance to shine a light on them. So, let's do that now. You know, there is actually one problem with having 3 unique characters, each with their own individual campaigns. It is that progression and unlocks are also separate for every character. Now, it's understandable that unlocking cards and outfits would be tied to specific characters. But there's also a character upgrade system. This system allows you to collect a rare currency called metal, which is saved between runs and can be spent to permanently enhance your characters. These upgrades, such as increasing maximum health or recovering HP after every combat encounter, are also separate for each character. Since metal is quite scarce, to truly strengthen someone, you're essentially required to main that character and focus on playing exclusively as them. But what's even more frustrating is the fact that you also need to unlock the difficulty with each character. This is just bizarre, especially since Prestige 1 is such a cakewalk. When you're playing your first run ever, it is fine to start on an easy difficulty. But after becoming familiar with the game and beating it multiple times, perhaps even on Prestige 3 or 4, being forced to play the newly unlocked campaign on Prestige 1 again? This run would just be boring and way too easy. So to quote-unquote complete the game, you need to win at least 8 increasingly difficult runs with every character. What makes it even worse is that you're pushed to do all that twice. Why twice? Because there are actually 2 game modes that you unlock difficulties for separately: Adventure and Brawl. What the heck is Brawl, do you ask? It's essentially a more simplified and streamlined version of the game that solely focuses on combat and deck building. It discards the world map, all of the story, and even most choices. Honestly, this is basically the Slay the Spire gameplay loop. In Brawl mode, you get 5 randomly generated days with a couple of encounters consisting solely of negotiations and battles. Between the fights, you can visit shops and interact with people to maybe make some friends or hire someone to help you on the next assignment. At the end of the day, you have a boss fight. Stick around for 5 days, defeat the final boss, and that's it. No story development, no intrigue, no moral choices, just pure, unedited combat. Brawl offers a different kind of gameplay that is much quicker and extremely combat focused, which is perfect for when you just want to jump straight into the action. However, for me, it is just not as enjoyable as Adventure. Griftlands is about the story and choices, and without them, it is not entirely the same. Brawl is fun, but Adventure is clearly the core part of the game. Sorry, I've got carried away. Back to discussing the negatives. The next point I want to address is the somewhat lack of variability. Actually, Griftlands features plenty of unique enemy types across its 3 campaigns, both in battles and negotiations. All of them are different, with unique movesets and striking visuals. However, the issue lies in the fact that from a gameplay standpoint, they are just not unique enough. Despite having unique movesets, they don't particularly alter your approach to deck building. This can lead to a sense of repetitiveness, especially after a few dozen hours of gameplay. But honestly, most games will become repetitive at that point. The final, third issue for me was randomness, especially randomness in difficulty levels. It is quite challenging to design a game based on randomness, such as a roguelike, to be truly balanced, and Griftlands struggles in this regard at times. Sometimes situations arise where you simply can't win. You got unlucky and you lost, not because you played poorly or made wrong choices. Nope, the random factor just screwed you over and you can't do anything about that. Randomness is a major element of many roguelikes, but the best ones strive to minimize its negative impact on player experience, aiming for a more balanced and skill-driven gameplay loop. Right now on the screen is the first fight of the whole run. I have a starting deck, and there were no opportunities to improve it, make allies or hire someone. The fight is unwinnable, and there is literally nothing I can do. This is quite frustrating, and I hate when things like this happen in games. To clarify, this is not something that happens often, absolutely not, but even once in a while is enough to become irritating. Oh, and here is 5 minutes later, the first fight of the next run. Extremely easy, took less than 30 seconds and I took no damage. It is what it is, but come on. Keeping the spotlight on the randomness, because of it can be way too hard to build the deck that you want. This is in the spirit of the game. Yes, roguelikes are often rooted in randomness. But there are instances when you want to try something, when you have a specific deck idea in mind, but you can't realize it due to all the randomness. Everything, from quest rewards to post-battle loot and shop inventory, is subject to chance. There is no way to get even a single specific card. You simply must get lucky. Or are you? Griftlands introduces an interesting feature known as Mutators. These Mutators allow you to modify certain game rules to tailor your experience. If there are aspects of the game you're not fond of, there is a good chance that Mutators can scratch that itch for you. Want to have more pets? Kill everyone with no repercussions. Draft cards at the start of the game to have a better chance at crafting your favorite deck? The possibilities are extensive, including making a game harder or even creating custom challenges. For instance, you can enforce a vendetta for all characters, causing them to exclusively target you while disregarding your allies, or completely disable healing at the end of the day. There is so much going on here, and this level of customization is a brilliant game design choice. It empowers players to shape their gameplay experience according to their preferences. It significantly extends the game's lifespan, offering a solution for when the basic game becomes a bit repetitive and stale. A simple adjustment or a complete rule change via Mutators can breathe new life into the Griftlands. Do you know what allows you to customize the game even more? Modding. If you are familiar with me, you know I can't resist discussing mods whenever a game supports them, and Griftlands offers full Steam Workshop support, opening the door to extensive modding possibilities. Despite the small community, there are several impressive mods available. Some mods offer minor adjustments to various aspects of the game, like enabling all characters to play any campaign, or making the Brawl mod endless. However, there are also a few surprisingly substantial mods that introduce significant changes and additions far beyond what I ever expected. More upgrade variety introduces just that, additional upgrade options for many cards, expanding the deck customization possibilities. Griftlands Expanded goes even further by incorporating multiple new cards, crafts, items and bosses into Sal's and Rook's campaigns, because why not? However, the most ambitious mods are those that introduce entirely new characters to the game, complete with unique cards, mechanics and stories. Obviously, not all of these mods are of the same quality, like Shell's Adventure and Rise of Cassio. While I enjoyed both of them and they do offer intriguing concepts and promising ideas, these character mods are clearly neither finished nor polished, especially Shell's Adventure. In contrast, Assassin's Obligation stands out as a more refined and basically fully developed character mod. It features an unconventional assassin character who relies on running from battles as one of his main means of survival. Victor is designed like a glass cannon type of character that deals huge damage, but at the same time dies really fast. Overall, awesome and pretty high quality mod. Moreover, it continues to receive updates and improvements to this very day. Nevertheless, the pinnacle of modding excellence in Griftlands, without a doubt, is Erin's Last Day. This mod not only introduces a new character with a distinctive playstyle, coming in with an extensive array of content, including 200 new cards, over 40 crafts and numerous new gameplay mechanics, but it also adds a fully fleshed out campaign for this character, complete with its own story, voiced cutscenes and original artwork made solely for this mod.
Now you are the right-hand enforcer of wealthy technocrats.
Not only that, it also introduces a new expedition game mode, blending elements of both adventure and brawl mods. Erin is incredibly fun to play. Her mechanics are extremely unique and are nothing like anyone else in the game. The attention to detail and high level of polish make this mod almost indistinguishable from the official content of the game. I will never tire of witnessing the incredible creativity and dedication of the modding communities. We're nearing the end of the Griftlands series. This video marks the last slice, and next week we'll wrap it all up with the final review. It turned out to be a much bigger project than I anticipated, but I hope you enjoy it and show some love. Perhaps you're from the future and the final review is already out for you. If so, you can check it out here. In the meantime, feel free to catch another slice right here. See you next week.